Well, good evening. I know there's a group out there, but I cannot see you. So we thank you for being here. The lights, you feel like you're on stage. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing interest in the future as we plot our course for the next several years at JSU. I'll be brief because we have a lot of people up here that have worked hard developing the overview of the strategic plan, and I want to let them talk. But I do want to thank all those who participated in the development of this strategic plan overview. So if you're in the audience, just stand up real quick. Strategic Plan Committee, please stand up and let us recognize you for your work. Thank you. Please. So it is time. Our existing strategic plan is expiring, and it's time for us to develop a new one. So when I first came on board as the acting and moving into the permanent role, we put the strategic planning committee together, and my charge to them was for us to develop a strategic plan that does not sit on the shelf. In higher education, you know, we're good at developing these long, thick, drawn-out strategic plans that really say nothing more than let's go be good stewards of state resources and help students out. So I wanted to change that. I wanted a succinct plan that everybody can understand, that if you approach anyone on this campus at any time, they understand the strategic plan and can share that strategic plan with you. And I think we have accomplished that. And so I'm extremely proud of the work that these folks behind me have done and the Strategic Planning Committee. There's members in the audience. So I told them, what are we good at? Take that in consideration first and develop around that point. First and foremost, I want us to make sure we take care of our customers, our students. As long as we're student-centered in everything we do, we'll be fine. And next, also good community members. Make sure that we're engaging in the community and being good stewards of place. Take those two and move around the idea of higher education and what we offer to this region. We'll develop a good strategic plan, and they did. And afterwards, you're going to be able to tell everybody about what they've come up with or what we're doing in our strategic plan going forward. With that, I'll stop rambling and let the introduction of the Strategic Planning Committee by Ms. Kim Preston, who is our chair, come forward and tell you how we got to this point. So thank you, and I appreciate you being here. There will be time for questions. Please, as you go through this process, think of your questions, and we'll be glad to answer them as we go. So, Ms. Preston.
Thank you. I just wanted to give a brief overview of the Strategic Planning Committee itself. It was developed to be a purposely large 41-member committee, and it's made up of faculty members, staff, and students in leadership areas across the campus. At the first meeting in January, the president gave his charge to the committee, and excuse me, committee members were asked to do some research and environmental scanning related to their area and bring those ideas to the table. And what the idea was on that was we were going to have them give presentations, show any research they did, show the websites they might have found with ideas on it or documents, and as a committee vote on the areas that we felt were maybe the most important for JSU's future. And so we did that. We had 30 areas of importance brought up in these presentations in February. And each presenter provided handouts, web links of their research or environmental scanning, and discussed why they felt this was important to be included in the new plan. And a lot of discussion followed the presentations. And what we did after that was we did a survey of the committee itself, and everybody was asked to provide their feedback on what they thought were the most important areas so that that information could be taken to the cabinet retreat for the cabinet to discuss. And the top 10 were student success, enrollment, diversity and inclusion, faculty success, student engagement, cybersecurity, transformative learning, student support, facility master plan, and business continuity. So all that information was brought to the cabinet, and they held a retreat in February, later in February, to talk about that and to come up with a plan, a framework that we would take further and develop a plan from there. So Dr. Shelton is going to take a few minutes to talk about the information from the cabinet retreat.
Good evening. As Ms. Preston said, we had a cabinet retreat, the President's Cabinet, on February 24th of this year, and the main focus of our retreat, of course, was to go over the information she mentioned and then to really discuss the overall structure of what we wanted the strategic plan to look like. As the President alluded to, we didn't want something that just sat on a shelf or consisted of page after page after page that people really could not connect to. So we discussed the previous plans that we had all been a part of at this university and the detail associated with them. We actually completed a review of other universities and looked at their plans, and some which were more simple, some which were much more detailed, and we had discussion amongst ourselves about what we really wanted ours to look like. We also revisited the significance of the plan and how it would inform planning at all levels, from division all the way down to the department or unit area at our university. We actually rehashed our current mission statement to determine its currency and applicability to what we wanted to be known as now. After much discussion, the cabinet that particular day settled on 3 areas of focus. At that time, they were known as Discover, Connect, and Thrive. And you will see the evolution of those areas as you hear from the group, because we turned it over to some subcommittees and they accomplished great things with that. But those were the areas that actually came out of the cabinet retreat. We actually also connected conceptually the strategic plan theme, which was also the inaugural theme of one university, one family, one legacy, to these areas of focus. Decisions were then made on who would serve on the subcommittees, and a timeline was reviewed by the cabinet. And then we passed all of this information on to Ms. Presson. We notified those people who were to be on those subcommittees and who were to chair those subcommittees or co-chair. And we explained what the expectations were and a general timeline. So as you will hear and see tonight, the plan evolved from this original effort that we passed on to them to a vibrant, exciting strategic plan for the future of JSU. So now I will turn it over to Dr. Walsh, who will take us to that next level. Dr. Walsh.
Thank you. Make sure my beard isn't fuzzy on TV. TV, that dates me a little bit, doesn't it? Video. Okay. We had our marching orders in 3 areas: teaching and learning, community connections, and enrollment, advancement, and financial performance. And as subcommittee chairs, I was subcommittee 1, teaching and learning, and my co-chair was Matthew McFall, he's our IT guy. He's gone on to well-deserved fame and fortune elsewhere just recently. Standing in for him is our able and very capable CIO, Vincent Houston, and he's now taken Matthew's role in this. For the second subcommittee, we have Stacy Stone and Josh Robinson. They were our community connections folks. We have Tim Lindblom and Lauren Finley for our enrollment, advancement, and financial performance. So we had our 3 subcommittees, and we did what good subcommittees do. We ran off into our own little corners and started working in isolation and trying to develop the perfect strategic plan. Then one day, an email came through from Stacy and Josh, and it said, "Hey, here's a rough draft of something that we're working on. It looks pretty good. What do you all think?" And it was very simple. It articulated the ideas that came from the cabinet, and we took that, the other subcommittees, the other 2 subcommittees, and we believe we made that better. And then we came back to the table again, and we all started working collectively and working in harmony, developing what seems to be a balanced plan, a thoughtful plan, and a very simple plan, all based off of the initial work of Subcommittee 2 that just kept continuing to get refined. Now, what we wanted to make for sure, we really wanted to untether ourselves from the traditional strategic plan, the 10,000 things that the university is going to do in the next 5 years and to be successful, so everybody get busy and start working on them and tell us when you're through. We didn't want that model at all, and we did everything we could to push that away and come up with a fresher approach. So that prescriptive model, I think of it as like a GPS when you get directions on how to go somewhere. There's very specific turns, even what lane you should be in, all of that. We decided we did not want that, and we instead, I guess conceptually, it was analogous to providing a roadmap. Not a roadmap with specific directions, but a roadmap that says JSU wants to be here in the next 5, 10, 20 years. Help us get there. You plot your course to get there. Use this map. There's going to be some of you who want to take a car and get on the interstate and go as fast as you can to get there. There's others who will want to take the side roads. Tim Lindblom will probably try to find a bike trail somewhere to get there. Josh may say, hey, we're a big group. We like to travel by buses, so we want big tour buses to travel around. Everybody's got their own idea of how to get there. Some folks may say, yeah, we're going, but we won't get there in a year. It's going to take us 4 years to get there because here are all of the things we want to do along the way and need to do along the way. So that was the concept of this open model. And that's why we keep going back and forth, even sometimes having trouble saying strategic plan versus strategic framework, because what we believe we've developed is a framework for everybody's strategic plan, this empowers every single person, puts the trust in departments, in colleges, in various units, even in individuals, to say, this is how I want to get where JSU is going, and here is my plan to do that. So that was at the core of what we really were trying to accomplish, and I think when you see it, you'll see that we did that. It is not a detailed, here's what everybody needs to be doing, when they need to do it, how much money it's going to cost to do it. All of that comes from the people that we all trust, ourselves, the faculty, staff, even students, to say this is what we think we need to do to help JSU get to these levels that it aspires to. So that's the notion, and at this point, I believe we're supposed to play the video, and I'll go ahead and be quiet and let the video roll.
What matters at JSU? What do we value? As I begin my tenure as the 13th president of Jacksonville State University, I issued a challenge to our JSU family. That challenge was to double down on our reputation as a student-centered institution and make student success and eliminating barriers to access our top priorities. From the moment students arrive at JSU, they should be surrounded by a campus community that supports them through every step of their college journey, from enrollment to graduation.
At Jacksonville State University, you will find dedication and commitment to our students, to our alumni, to our faculty and staff, and to our campus, city, region, and state. At JSU, our mission statement reflects our commitment. We are committed to being a learning-centered community that provides distinctive educational, cultural, and social experiences to prepare students to be competent, ethical professionals and engaged, responsible global citizens.
That is our mission, and to fulfill that mission, we have developed a bold plan for the future. This plan is informed by what we value and based on our beliefs of what makes a strong and vibrant college campus. Not just for today, but also for tomorrow. A plan for tomorrow's JSU. At the center of this plan are three major commitments: discover, engage, and reach.
Our first commitment is discover. At JSU, we do not provide the answers. We provide the experiences, environments, and expectations that allow learners to discover the answers. Through our first commitment, discover, we will continue to advance our capacity for creating diverse, meaningful, and accessible learning opportunities that prepare all learners for success.
In order to meet this challenge, we have identified 3 areas of focus: experiences, environments, and expectations. Within the areas of focus, our goals are to, first, provide learning experiences that connect learners with real-world knowledge, skills, and opportunities. Second, create and provide new learning environments characterized by modern facilities, technological enhancements, active learning, and engaging instruction. And third, aggressively promote and assess critical thinking, essential employability skills, diversity and inclusion, and successful degree completion in all learning experiences and environments.
Our second commitment is engage. As we engage in transformative experiences, we will create symbiotic partnerships that impact the university learning environment while encouraging university members to give back to the community.
As a university, we ensure the vibrancy of our campus, community, and region through 3 areas of focus for engage. They are benefit of belonging, mutual relationships, and power of place.
Within the 3 areas of focus, our goals are to first, improve the accessibility of a safe, equitable, diverse campus that is supportive of all campus and community members. Second, strengthen partnerships to improve quality of life through collective impact. Third, ensure a vibrant and successful campus and community that will be attractive to a diverse population.
Our third commitment is reach. Higher education is becoming increasingly competitive, with a projected reduction of college-ready students in the coming decade. Attaining a college degree has also become more expensive, which limits access to college for many would-be students.
With this plan, JSU will commit to strengthening our financial foundation to support a thriving learning community through inclusive enrollment, a spirit of generosity, and a culture of accountability.
Our goals within the 3 areas of focus are to, first, attract, enroll, and support undergraduate and graduate students with unique experiences from across the region, state, and globe. Second, create a culture that encourages donor support and gives them the confidence that their support will directly impact student success. And finally, create a culture of accountability that cultivates an environment of best practices for effectiveness and efficiency.
On behalf of the Strategic Planning Committee, we hope you have found this outline of our new strategic plans framework to be informative.
This framework is based on a vision that started with President Killingsworth's inaugural address and has been embraced and further developed by a committee encompassing a wide array of students, faculty, and staff throughout the JSU family. We are now asking for your feedback.
Please share your thoughts by using this link or QR code to answer a brief survey, which will be used as we further develop our strategic plan.
As part of JSU's commitment to continuous improvement, the areas of focus and goals within each of our commitments will be the framework we use to develop plans in each division and unit across the campus community.
These plans will be used as a guide to realize our vision of a campus committed to the success of our students from the time they enroll through the day they graduate and beyond.
Okay, well, that kind of gives you an idea of the work the committee and subcommittee have done. And like you've heard several times, this is a broad framework that other units across campus, or every unit across campus, will be able to support in one way or another. The things that we feel are the most important for the JSU's future. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and open the floor for some questions. We are also going to be taking questions from the live stream. We have some of the JSU ambassadors here, so if you'll raise your hand if you have a question, and they'll bring a microphone so that when it's over the live stream, people can hear it. And then we'll figure out who the best person is. They'll be able to answer your question. Nobody has a question? Comments? Anything you feel would be helpful as we move forward with this planning process?
So again, they took what I gave them and a loosely thought out ideas, and it's kind of like splatter paint.
That is the most awful thing I've ever heard in my life.
Am I okay to stay here? They took my loose ideas and they came up with this. So I'll see if y'all can remember the three. What are the three? First, discover. Second, engaged. And third, reach. And that was the idea, something that everybody could understand. And you see the areas of focus up underneath. The overall idea was for each department, each division, or each college to take those areas of framework and then the areas of focus and design it for them, what they need, like Dr. Walsh so eloquently put earlier. This is required from SAC-COC as we go through our strategic planning and we gear up for our decennial reaffirmation in 2024. This is required from our accrediting body. So this is necessary that we have town halls, but we want to hear from you all. Tell us what you thought. Did you like the video? Could we enhance anything in certain areas? Did you understand what we're going for in Discover, Engage, and Reach? But please, we'll welcome any comments.
Good afternoon. My question is, the plan seems very student-friendly and student-focused, and I agree that that's our first priority. But if you want globally competitive students, you must ensure that your faculty is globally competitive and diverse as well. My question is, have we discovered an area that we need to focus on as far as diversifying the faculty and supporting the faculty in the strategic plan? Have we reached that point to focus on them first as well as the students, or is that forthcoming? I'm sorry.
I think
we're all wanting to jump up and answer it.
So I think Dr. Walsh wants to answer too, but this is, and you can come on, Dr. Walsh. This is going to be very broad so that we can nail down, like in academic affairs in that particular division, under those headings, or what we're calling commitments, we will drill down to specifically address our faculty, the diversity in our faculty, the diversity in our staff, and those particular objectives we have as part of our goals for those sections. So what you all are seeing is just an overall layer, but as we drill down within our divisions, we will get down to the faculty support for engaging the faculty support for helping the faculty discover the scholarly needs that they have or support them through their scholarly activities, and diversifying our faculty. So all of that will be drilled down to. Do you want to add to that, Dr. Walsh, or anyone else on the group?
Yeah, you know, we wanted to be careful here in how we laid this out, and some of the wording, like, for example, in this first area of focus, provide learning experiences that connect learners with real-world knowledge, skills, and opportunities. Learners defines all of us, faculty, staff. There's all kinds of training needs that go on. So it's not just student-centric, it's anyone associated with the learning process, which we all are. And then that gives us the latitude then, say, for instance, the faculty commons, to take that and develop it into professional development goals for faculty, or even a department, to use that as the framework, again, to build professional development, opportunities to increase diversity, all of the things that are built into the plan here to make it their own and do it that way. And so we really tried not to, again, trying to be as loose as we possibly could with still having some sort of guidance there. Tried to stay away from words that were specifically student-focused or based in the classroom. We talk about learning environment versus specific classrooms and consider a whole range of experiences or a range of environments.
And I'll just follow up with this. That I don't know if that necessarily goes in the strategic plan. That's a mission of the institution, a mission of mine. So we are constantly working on diversity in our employees. So I don't know if that specifically goes into the strategic plan. That's just a goal of the institution.
Is this on? Okay. My name's Gail DeParma. I am with a new nonprofit here in Jacksonville called Great Things in Jacksonville, and we are focusing on projects that need to get done in Jacksonville, and it could be a wide range of things. We're organized in teams with a team anchor, and one of the things we have going on right now is cleaning up the historic signs. We're looking at building a inclusive and accessible playground down in the Mill Village on 12 acres that the city owns. And that would bring a lot of people into town, especially a big swing that people in wheelchairs could use. That would be for anybody in a wheelchair, you know, people in nursing homes as well. But we are anxious to work with the college. And one of the things that I noticed several times was the emphasis of citizenship and community. I think that bridge has grossly been ignored. And we would welcome being part of building that to see just how high and how far we could take that. Because the only limits on us is funding and our imagination. So the one thing now, to change horses a little bit, I'm a landlord here in Jacksonville, have been for 14 years. I would dearly love to see rental inspections. That's going to be sorely criticized, I know, by other landlords here in town, but I've been in some of these places that students are living, and I hear this all the time from people that come, faculty, just people in general that aren't even connected with the college, and some of these students, they're telling me what they've been living in, and then they come to mine, and I have them for long-term residence. So anything I can do in that area too, I will lead the charge on that if I can.
Thank you, Mr. Parma. We appreciate your support of the institution, and you brought up many different areas that we want to be good neighbors, and part of that is the potential. I've only been on the job for a little over a year, so I've got a long list of things to do. We joined the International Town and Gown Association last year, and part of that organization helps us bridge that gap with the community. And I see at campuses across, I know we're getting off the strategic plan here, but that's fine. Campuses across the U.S. have an outside person that's a full-time staff member that works with rental agencies and landlords in the city to work with the students and kind of be the liaison. We need to move towards that, and I've talked about that with our student affairs, but we're just not ready to go there. You said nothing that funding wouldn't solve. If we had a blank check, and Mayor Anderson's here, Jack Draper, maybe the city of Anderson would like to help out a little bit, but you know, nothing funding, and they do. We appreciate Anderson. It's nothing a blank check wouldn't solve. We do have issues. We want to make sure our students are taken care of in the city, and we want them to be good neighbors while they're in the city. And I always say, if you ever have a problem with any of our students, you let us know. You let us know.
The city does now have is we have a fire marshal.
Yes.
That wasn't there before. That is the perfect person to do rental inspections.
That is correct. So we're in this together. Again, we want to be good community partners, and I think we're on the right track.
Good evening. There was a couple of the commitments, at least two, maybe more, that emphasize power of place. I was wondering if you would elaborate on that and make it a little less esoteric.
I think we picked that for the alliteration, says the English professor. Yes, so I think this dovetails nicely with what Ms. DeParma was asking about as well. I think it's really serendipitous that the city of Jacksonville and probably some other cities in our region are looking at their own strategic plans and planning. I know I recently attended a meeting at the public library that was looking at how to revitalize the square in Jacksonville. And so really part of what we're doing in Engage and in Power of Place is thinking about how the success of our university also depends on the success of our region and the cities in our region. So that we need for the cities to be vibrant places that are successful so that we can attract faculty and staff and students. And so Power of Place refers to that, but it's more than that. There's such a thing as place-based learning, and a lot of research has been done on this that shows how impactful it can be for a student as far as high-impact practices when they are out in their communities, focusing on their communities, using things that are happening in the community as the basis for courses. So we're hoping that some of that will result from this new emphasis on Power of Place and engagement with the community, as well as mutual relationships with partners in the community. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, I have a few questions from our social media audience. The first one is for Dr. Killingsworth. Do you need any additional alumni volunteers to serve on subcommittees?
We always need alumni volunteers. If you are interested in helping or assisting with any of these groups, subgroups, we'll be glad to have your input and support. We can't, like I've said many times, we cannot go at this alone or be siloed as an institution. We need to know what's outside, what's occurring outside, what outside perception of JSU might be. So yes, we need alumni support, and we will probably get you to reach out to our alumni office and volunteer your name, and we will put you to work.
Okay, and the next one we have is asking, as a business alum, how can they help with building the vibrancy around the community? What kind of businesses and attractions are we looking for in the Calhoun County area?
That's for me too. Maybe I should just have a town hall for me and invite the community. And no, that's fine. Please ask any questions you have. I know this is about the strategic plan, but while we have an active audience and a hot mic, let's see what we can uncover. So the question was, what businesses do we need to bring to Jacksonville or help bring to Jacksonville?
Yes, businesses and attractions.
Well, I need my student or the SGA president up here to help me answer this. I think there are several things. We love Jacksonville. Even with this last census, we're growing as a city, 15,000 strong. We do need to look at industry. We have lost many jobs in the industry over the last few years. Bringing a good, solid industry into the city will help with families moving in and the overall tax base. But beyond that, what do we need to help with our students that they would stay around and be engaged here, like on the weekend or even during the week? We have restaurants. We always enjoy seeing new restaurants come in. But I hate to see, and I'm proud of Oxford for getting the big time entertainment, but look at all that place offers. If you haven't been there, this is not a commercial for them, but it offers the bowling, it offers the gaming experience that we do not have here. We don't even have here at our campus, So we need to be thinking about partnering with the city of Jacksonville, the city of Anderson, the city of Oxford, to bring these ideas or businesses or something to our campus. And even when they come at Big Time Entertainment down in Oxford, we're working with them to make sure our students can use some of their flex bucks or whatever they have down at that facility, because we want our students to have a good time. It's all about the college and campus experience. So There's a lot of ideas there. I need the students to help me come up with the ideas because I can't. I'm old now. I don't know what the students want to see, but I know it's restaurants. We have restaurants, but what else can we offer to students? So we'll have to come back to that, and we'll provide a better answer down the road.
Great. Okay, the next one. I know there's a new performing arts building planned. How do you plan the discover aspect of the plan to go along with that project? And will the theater program be well supported?
Yeah, Dean Stone, it's your turn.
So appreciate the interest in the Randy Owen Center for Performing Arts. We are very excited about this new facility that should open on our campus in 2023. And that facility, the plan is for it to have a world-class acoustical music hall and two multi-purpose rooms that are acoustically treated as band rooms. So although the facility will be used for some theatrical productions and for theater competitions so that we can host more regional and state theater competitions in Jacksonville on our campus, the building itself is mainly for music. And as far as the Discover part of our strategic plan, we are trying to provide a world-class environment for performing arts on this campus. And so certainly the ROC, as we're calling it, should help us address the Discover portion of the strategic plan.
Okay, and the last one, I think from social media for a minute at least. This is more for the information technology teams. Super excited about the technology that we're talking about. Can you give us some more visions about how that will be implemented on campus and in classrooms?
Absolutely. So currently, this is actually a process that we have already begun to engage in terms of updating our classroom environments to accommodate, I guess, more modern technology, more advanced forms of delivering instruction. If you take a look at some of the things that we had to deal with during COVID, it provided some opportunities for us to learn how we could do things better, to create a different, more diverse learning environment, whether this was going with online instruction, whether it was going with a hybrid learning environment. So there are specific technologies that lend themselves to that. So as you look at a learning environment that has more collaboration, when you talk about active learning, which actually allows the student to actively and be involved in learning and participate more in that process, then you have to have the technology in the classroom that facilitates that. So to get into specifics, if you look at some of the classrooms on space, we have new projection screens that allow interaction on stage. We have just a variety of software that facilitates that. So we just want to continue to grow that environment and continue to challenge the students to learn in different ways, but also give our faculty the tools they need to deliver that instruction.
Hi, thank you. I'm a new faculty here at JSU. I just started a few months ago, so I'm still getting my feet under me a bit. But early in the presentation, you talked about this being more of a framework or a map into which individuals and departments across campus can fit their own sort of mini strategic plans. I was wondering if one or more of you could talk for a bit about how you expect to structure that relationship and what your expectations are for individuals and departments as we work towards fulfilling this broader strategic framework.
Okay. Well, what we imagine is that that starting with each of our divisions will build a strategic plan based on this framework. Academic affairs will build its strategic plan. Colleges will then build strategic plans that are meaningful and relevant to them and that can be measured against the framework. Departments, each department or even programs may develop a strategic plan for growing their program using elements of this framework. So that's what we imagine is it happening at the grassroots level, at the program level. I could even see where a faculty member could tie in, as a former faculty member myself, tying into some of this and developing my agenda as a faculty member for improving and enhancing my classes, making myself a better instructor, gaining broader field-based knowledge or my own content area knowledge, those types of things. This being a guide for some of that. But that's what we imagine is it being owned by the various units and entities. Does that make sense? Oh, okay. 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 Oh, I can't see. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
A question. How and when will detailed input from alumni be gathered? The framework is on the right start, but to develop an executable plan, detailed input will be needed.
Everybody will have an opportunity to look on social media. We have different areas that'll be, and watch this video again. Also, we'll be able to give input via a survey, and you could see the QR code was on the screen after the video played. So we'll be taking all that information. That survey will be up, and there'll be another announcement that'll go out tomorrow, but that survey will be up for a week. You'll have an opportunity to express your opinions in narrative boxes and also ask or answer rate your feelings on different parts of the strategic plan framework, as well as the mission statement. And we'll gather all that information, and then we'll use that to further develop the rest of the strategic plan as well. Is that all the questions we have? Okay, well, I just want to thank everybody for coming. And again, take the time, if you think of something that you didn't think of to ask here, take the survey. It'll be open for a week. And again, we'll be using that feedback as well. So thank you for coming.